evening, everybody. I think we can start with this webinar. Just a moment, sorry. I just give you a couple of information, so please switch off your microphones and please use the chat for any questions you would like to ask to the speaker. And well, now I give the floor to Federica Vidoni from Informes Consulting for the introduction.
Okay, thank you, Tommaso. Good morning to everyone. Good morning for participating to the third meeting connected to the LookYouNet project. I make a brief introduction about the project for those who didn't attend the last webinars, and then we can start with the presentation of the topics. So I'm Federica of Informes Consulting. Informes Consulting is the lead partner for the LookYouNet project, and this project had the aim of creating 10 European business networks. First of all, I would like also to thank the project partners of LookYouNet, so Unioncamere Emilia-Romagna, Baden-Württemberg International, Antwerp International Baden-Württemberg, the Regional Chamber of Commerce of Toledo, the Chamber of Commerce and Industry of Plovdiv, Bulgaria, the Free Entrepreneurial Association of Gdansk, Poland, and the Unioncamere del Veneto for the project management support. So, the LookYouNet project involved 10 SMEs European network belonging to different sectors and involved a total of 54 SMEs coming from 11 European countries. These webinars are connected to the training and coaching activity foreseen in the LookYouNet project and has the aim on support the export plan of the European SMEs networks. The topic of the webinar of today is connected to the digital marketing. In particular, we will talk about the marketing tools and their practical applications. I also remind you that all the webinars are recorded and so they will be available in the next few weeks. Okay, I think we can start. I also introduce Mrs. Anna Bosco of InfoFactory, a web agency of Udine. She's an expert in digital advertising, social media campaign. So hope that the topics covered today will be of your interest. And please, Anna, I leave you the word. Thank you.
Okay, good morning everyone. My name is Anna and I work with Paolo, who yesterday explained the market analysis to you. Today I will explain some of the most popular marketing tools and how to use them. If you have any questions, I would be grateful if you ask me at the end of the lesson. I would like to start this lesson by asking this question: why are we here? Social media has changed the way we live our life. We will spend a really long time of our life on social media, and we are online every day for hours. Social media has introduced a new way of communicating, and this also applies to companies. We need to understand how to properly reach these people. Let's see how to plan an online campaign. Before we begin, I would like to specify one thing. I have prepared some very specific slides for you on various topics. I will leave them to you so that each of you can deepen the part that interests you most. Together, we will see the main points of all topics. Let's start by identifying the target audience. As Paolo explained to you yesterday, there are several questions to ask yourself and tools to use to understand who to show our online campaign and how to identify these people. The first way to be relevant in an online campaign is to put yourself in the user's shoes and write a message that meets their specific needs. 2. Let's define the goals. Let's start by asking ourselves, which result do we want to achieve? For example, do we want to increase the average amount of each sale, or do we want to increase the sale of a product? Here, I have reported a framework that helps us to establish the SMART goals and objectives in a simple way. For example, we want to be specific. If we want to be specific, we don't just have to say, I want more website visitors. We have to say, we aim to achieve a 30% increase in organic traffic to our site by the end of 2020. This will be done through writing SEO, optimized informative blog posts, and so on. Here explains how to set achievable and relevant goals. And here, how to be specific over time. Now, let's see how to identify the tools. Which platform should I use? The first thing we need to ask ourselves is, does my target already know my product or service? Analyze traffic using some tools to find the answer. There are many two types of user traffic. Passive traffic, like on Facebook, or users who reach based on the things they are interested, and active traffic, like on Google, or users who independently search for information. Identify the metrics. Then set the key results that allow us to understand whether or not we have achieved a goal. Choose between 3 to 5 key performance indicators for each goal. Otherwise, it's hard to stay focused. Do you know what a funnel is? By funnel, we mean the process that a user goes through to reach a goal important for our business. The biggest benefit is its measurability, because you can see in which step you are losing too many customers. For example, from the moment a user saw an ad to the moment he makes a purchase, the percentage could drop in the various steps from 100% to 30% to 3%. Speaking of online campaigns and funnels, we also need to talk about landing pages. What are they and why are they so important? The landing page is the first page the user reaches after clicking on an AD, advertisement. Its goal is to convert the prospect into a lead or customer, creating trust, desire, and urgency. Compared to the website, it must focus only on a need or problem and avoid distractions. To create high converting landing page, we need to focus on some important elements, or a specific offer, a persuasive headline, strong images and videos that demonstrates the value of the offer, the benefits of the offer, the CTA button, the call to action button. And remember to include testimonial to demonstrate trust and value. I remind you to conduct a good analysis of your target you want to address, as you saw yesterday with Paolo. Here you will have more space than an ad to solve the doubts and problems of your target. Present your solution to their problems and highlight the benefits of your service. Here are two examples. Branch, offering office furniture, and on the right, Netflix, which we all know. Look how they immediately tell us what they do through two well-built titles. Some benefits are highlighted immediately under the title, and then the button with the CTA, the call to action, that summarizes what a user can do on this page. For example, get started on Netflix and build my office for Branch. Well, after creating the landing page and installing Analytics, a free web analytics service provided by Google to analyze our data, let's analyze the results. Here I have reported some of the main metrics to analyze results, such as page views, to say how many times a landing page has been viewed, traffic source, that tell us which channel visitors are coming from. You may find, for example, that Google might be better for you than Facebook. Bounce rate, which make us understand if we have hit the user's expectation. It is a percentage of all users who leave after they view a single page without any interaction. Then, the average time on page. If it is low, try to improve your copy. Conversion rate, which indicates the percentage of unique visitors who have completed the established goal. If we sell our product to different markets in Europe, we can see, for example, that Spain has a higher conversion rate than France. And cost per conversion, which indicates how much a conversion costs us on average. We must be sure that we are making a return on our investment. If you want even more in-depth analysis, there are two very useful tools. Google Tag Manager to analyze, for example, clicks on buttons, and Hotjar to understand the most interesting part of our landing page thanks to the analysis of mouse movements. Now, let's see how to plan online campaigns on 3 different channels. Before getting started with each platform, pay close attention to the difference in the target audience of these 3 platforms. Facebook is the perfect channel to reach users based on their interests, their behavior, what they like, the groups they belong to. Google is perfect for intercepting precise searches that users have made on the search bar of Google. And LinkedIn, that allows us to reach professionals defining the job position, a specific sector, or a company role. Let's start in order with Facebook. First of all, some example of advertising on Facebook. Facebook is the most popular social media platform today. On social networks, people are not looking for a product or service, and this also applies to Facebook. Purchase intent isn't as high as Google, but Facebook ads tend to be less expensive. Ads stays for advertisement. Before we start to understand how Facebook works, we need to know that it is governed by an auction system. How does the auction work? Simple. Facebook will try to show the right content to the right people. As you can see in the image, to classify our advertising, Facebook analyzes the price we have set, the estimated action rates, and the relevance and quality of our ad. Here are some of the most used advertising formats on Facebook. Creativity is very important on this platform. Okay, let's start. First of all, let's create the business manager on business.facebook.com. Then our advertising account, in which we will set the payment method. With the business manager, we can create, manage, and analyze our advertising campaigns. To understand how a campaign on Facebook is structured, I bring you this example of the material skills. The campaign is the top level, then we go down and we have the ID groups. Within each group, we can create our own ads. 3 simple steps to create a Facebook campaign. Define the goal, the target, and then create the ad. Let's start with the goal. What goal we want to achieve with our Facebook campaign? These are the goals available on Facebook. Among the most used, there are traffic, engagement, and conversions. Let's say we are using the traffic target. We then select, we rename our campaign and set the CBO, the campaign budget optimization, to help our campaign learn how to improve and set the budget. Now we identify our audience. We define location, years, and gender. Then let's look at the estimated result and the pointer on the right, which must always point to the green. Here we can see how in the target section we can also reach people based on their interests. Let's make an example. Suppose we are a company that sells protein bars to athletes. We want to reach all people who are interested in the world of fitness, as you can see, and at the same time show interest in protein bars or protein shakes. Now we select where to display our ad. I recommend leaving the first option, automatic placement, and then customizing creativities in the different square and vertical formats. Let's remember that the Facebook platform also includes Instagram and Messenger. We set the optimization and decide whether to set an end date. We have reached the first step. We link our Facebook page, in this case the protein bar company, and then select the format below. Do we want to use, for example, an image? Now, let's write the text and upload the photo for our advertisement. We add the website link and below the call to action. While writing the text ad, start from the needs, desires, and problems you have identified thanks to the tools we saw yesterday with Paolo. As he explained to you yesterday, it is very important to identify what people are and their characteristics. We can write the most beautiful words in the world, but if they are talking to anyone, we will not be incisive and we will not get the desired results. I hope so far everything is clear. These are not difficult steps. It may seem at first. In any case, you will have the slides to review the passages. Now I would like to briefly explain what a custom audience is and what it is for. Facebook allows us to create audiences to reach people who already know our company. Have you ever heard of retargeting? Here, now we are talking about it. They are used very often to re-engage people who have performed important actions but have not reached the goal of our campaign. Yes, inside or outside Facebook. Retargeting campaigns get a higher conversion rate. I will leave you here to read some advice and suggestions on how to set up Facebook campaigns. And now let's see how to measure results. On Facebook, there are 5 key performance indicators. You should always evaluate to understand if a campaign is effective. The CTR and CTR link. The CTR is a percentage that indicates how many people clicked after seeing an advertisement. The CTR link is a percentage that indicates how many of these have clicked exclusively on the link to go on a website. CPM indicates the cost per 1,000 views. If the CPM goes up but the CTR stays the same, we will pay more for a single click. Cost per click link, or the cost for a single click on the link, the CPC on the link, help us calculate if we could make a profit from our campaigns. Here is an example. Frequency, or how many times an advertisement is seen by the same person. To stay in people's minds, we have to be seen multiple times and at different times. The frequency is higher in the retargeting phase. Here I have put you a screen to understand how to set the columns to read these results on Facebook. For example, here you can see the CTR, and here on the left the CTRL on the link, and the CPC. Now let's see the second platform, that is Google. Some examples of advertising on Google. Compared to Facebook, people on Google intentionally search for information, or even better, for a product in the search bar. Google is also governed by an auction system. Also in this case, as you can see from this illustrated example, the auction is based on the price we have set and the quality score, which also considers the landing page. Here, an example of competition between the various advertisers. We always see the same example and see how a higher quality score got the first position on Google, even if it did not have the highest price. Well, the quality score is critical. As on Facebook, there are different types of ads we can create. Here, you see the search network ad that appears on Google results. It is the most used one. The display network that we often find when we browse on websites. And finally, Google Shopping, which are e-commerce based. Well, now you should go to ads.google.com and then create a Google account to start creating the ads. Three simple steps to create a Google campaign. Define the campaign type, targeting and budget, then the keywords, and create ads. But before I start, I want to give you some advice. It's better to do a keyword research and organize them before you start creating a campaign. What is a keyword? By keyword, we mean a word or a combination of words an internet users enters in the search bar, in this case of Google. To find the right keyword, a good tool is the Keyword Planner of Google. Once the Google account is created, we go to the Keyword Planner. Let's start by selecting Use only this page to scan the page and find the most important keyword from the text. Here is the list of all the keywords extracted from our web page. In this example, suppose you are a florist that also sends flowers online. Our shop is located in London. Let's first choose the keywords that contain London to be more specific. We then see in the top of page bid column the amount indicated to reach the first position based on current auctions. Now let's go back to the Keyword Planner. This time we use the Search for New Keywords option instead of Start with a website, and we get new ideas to use. We then group the keywords by similarity. It is important to organize keywords by groups. We will see later how to write much more precise ads. Okay, well, finally we start with the first step. We select the goal and above all the type of campaign we want to create among search, display or shopping. In this case we will create a search campaign, then insert the link of the landing page, then select the budget and the desired optimization. Here, for example, we want to maximize clicks on our landing page. Okay, we are in the AD group section. Here, as well as on Facebook, we can create more than one. Let's start by creating one renamed Flower Delivery London. We insert the keywords we found with the word London inside. Well, now insert link here too, and we write our announcement. We see that compared to Facebook, we have some limitation in characters. How to write an effective ad on Google? I've created a summary for you to compare before writing, based on 600 of the best ads on Google Ads from WordStream research. I've also created a page for tip and tricks here. One of the most important is the first, that is, the same combination of keywords must be present on our landing page. In other words, there must be correspondence between keywords and words present in our landing page. I think they all are very important, but I also want to mention the last one, which consists in creating new ads based on the ones that have performed the best. Let's go to the measurement part. Impression. How many times your ad has been viewed? CTR. The CTR we have already encountered on Facebook. CPC link. To see if we are paying too much for a click, as we have seen. For example, if I have a product margin of 10 euros and a click costs me 50 cents. To go into profit, I have to convert one click every 19 on average. But if the cost per click goes up, for example, to 60 cents, the conversion rate must go up, otherwise I got a loss. Impression at the absolute top. It indicates how many times we have been shown at the top of the first results on Google. And quality score. We look at the quality score, and as we have seen, it determines how much you pay per click. It's the metric that shows how relevant your ad is. It is based on CTR, AD format, and landing page relevance to your target. A good score is about 7. As we have seen for the landing page, the conversion rate and the cost per conversion help us to better understand if we are profitable or not with our campaign. For example, let's say you spend an average of 200 euros to acquire a customer. If the average customer spends 1,000 euros on your products or services, that's fine. However, if your customer only spends 100 euros, that means you're losing 100 euros for each buyer. Here, I have put you a screen to understand how to set the columns to reduce results on Google. Now let's see the last platform. Let's start with examples on LinkedIn. We clearly see that we are talking about work here. In fact, LinkedIn is the platform for excellence where professionals are present to have professional relationships and to look for new customers. Advertising on LinkedIn is much more expensive than on Google and Facebook. Let's see the type of ads on LinkedIn. Sponsored content is the most used format. It is similar to the post of social media. It can be a single image, a video, or carousel. With a message ad, we can send a message directly to our target's mailbox. In this way, we can better measure the results based on the answers. With dynamic ads, we can send personalized micro-messages. However, they are only available on desktop. Finally, we have the text ads that are even more compact and are often used on brand awareness action. Okay, now as for the others, let's create our account on LinkedIn. From here, you will have the possibility to create your LinkedIn account. Click in the Market section and then on Create an Ad. Then click Create Account. Remember to connect your LinkedIn company page. Once created, we go immediately to set the payment option. First steps to create our LinkedIn campaign. In the group section of the campaign, click on Create Campaign after we define goal, target, audience, ID format and budget, then rewrite the ads. Okay, let's start by choosing our goal. For example, in this case, we want to get as many visits to our landing page as possible. So we click on Website Visits. Well, we got to the audience part, which on LinkedIn allows us to be very precise and to target people by professions, skills, or years of experience. Let's select the location first. For example, if we want to select England but want to exclude a city, we select the exclude here below. There are two ways of targeting. We can use the OR targeting option or be even more precise with AND targeting. OR targeting allows us to reach members who meet one or more criteria. For example, we desire to show the campaign to engineers in Italy. Start by targeting members with the job title engineer or those with skills in software engineering. Click on the job titles, type engineer and select the right option. Click on the member skills and do the same, looking for software engineering. In the right column, we see information on the selected audience, such as the size and the estimated results according to the LinkedIn average. Leave here the English language, as the most who use LinkedIn have their profile set up in English, so we can reach as many people as possible. And targeting, like for Facebook, allows us to be more specific and reach people who correspond to one criterion and at the same time correspond to another. Let's go back to the previous example and add an information. We want to reach only those who have an experience of at least 5 years. See all the updates results in the right column. We can also use the exclude option and remove companies with fewer than 200 employees. I'll look again at the results. Well, we have reached the third step. Here you will choose whether to create an image, a carousel, or a video or a message. Set up your budget by choosing between daily budget or the daily budget and total budget option. Last part, let's create the announcement. And remember to use the tools that Paolo explained to you yesterday through interviews, questionnaires, and the study of competitors, or using some artificial intelligence tools such as TalkWorker or SparkToro. We will be able to identify problems and needs and write very specific announcements for the people we target. Here you can see some winning examples of LinkedIn advertising. For example, Google in the image, in a very simple way, explains what it is for. That is to create the write-up, showing it at the right time and place. Tip and tricks for LinkedIn campaigns: always do A/B tests with different creativity to understand which is the right one for your business. By analyzing the data, you will be amazed at the results. Do not publish more than 3 or 4 announcements at once, especially if you have a small budget. And remember that LinkedIn costs more. Otherwise, we'll dilute the budget too much. Okay, finally, it's up to the measurement of results. Let's take into consideration some indicators that we have already seen, such as impressions, CTR, generally much lower on LinkedIn, CPC higher than Google and Facebook, and if set conversion rate and cost per conversion. Compared to the other platforms, we analyze more information on who has clicked or seen the ads. Now let's see why. LinkedIn has a section dedicated to performance and demographics results. To reach it, go to the campaign level and click on the 3 dots next to the name default campaign group. Select chart, and the results screen will appear, as you can see in the first image on the left below. In the column immediately to the right of the image, we see options that can be selected to compare clicks, impressions, average CPC, average CTR, and so on, in the desired time frame. At last, the demographics section show us the data of the people who interacted with us for job function, job title, company industry, job seniority, company size, and so on. And well, thank you.